Gross domestic product, otherwise GDP, is the total value of all goods and services produced within a country over a specific time period. It's used to measure the size and health of an economy can be calculated through production, income, or expenditure methods. GNP measures the economic output generated by a country residents regardless of where the product occurs. Exports are goods and services produced in one country and sold to buyers in other countries. Exports are crucial component of international trade and are important for a country's economy because they generate revenue, support domestic industries, create jobs, and help balance a country's trade. Imports are goods and services that are produced in other countries brought into a country with consumption. They are essential part of international allowing countries to access products they may not produce domestically. And lastly, net exports are the difference between a country's total exports and total imports. The difference between GDP and GNP is the scope what they measure. GDP measures the total value of all goods and services produced within a country borders regardless of who owns the production. GNP measures the total value of all goods and services produced by the residents of a country both domestically and abroad. And an example is a US car company that is factored in Germany, GDP. If you are calculating the US GDP, the production for the factory in Germany would not be included because the production occurs outside the US. Instead, this factory's output would be include Germany's GDP. GNP, if you are calculating the US GNP, the production from the factory in Germany would be included because it's owned by a US company. Expenditure approach. The formula is GDP is equals to consumption plus investment plus government spending plus net exports. And second is income approach, which is GDP plus wages plus rent plus interest plus profit plus taxes minus subsidies. And lastly, production or output approach. The formula is GDP is equals to value of outputs minus value of intermediate goods. For the example of expenditure approach is spending by households on groceries, clothing, and electronics. Second example for income approach is salaries and wages paid to employees including bonuses and benefits. And lastly, example for production or output approach, the total sales values of a bakery, bread, and pastries.